7 Commanders. Today I'd like to revisit my Corvette, which I usually use for bounty hunting and pirate lord missions, to be more effective in the space conflict zones. The build I'm working towards should be good at stripping shields as well as hull. We should be able to tolerate a bit of heat, but won't be melting modules with 150% like those thermal conduit builds. All in all, I'd like to walk through the main aspects of the build and bring you along on the engineering trip to Muang, where our bro resides. Yes, bro. How are we going to go about this? I loaded my trusty Mandalay with 4 burst lasers it can carry, 2 medium and 2 small. We'll use it as a mule to hold the hard points, engineer them, and then we'll call in our Corvette along with some other modules that we need. We're based near the current community goal. This is happening in the Beta-3 Tucani right now, which is just 2 jumps away with Mandal. Alright, let's go. Okay, so what do we have in our Corvette? The burst lasers are overcharged. Initial impact, that's the combination that will give you both kinetic and thermal damage. So here I have high capacity screening shell pacifier, which we'll see how it will go, and the rest of the burst lasers are still overcharged and impact, right? The 2s, so the medium ones, the same combination as the previous one. The difference is going to be with the small ones, 1G, is a short range, and I'm trying kind of mimic what we have with the cytoscramblers, but we'll see how that will go. Main thing to notice is there is a weapon focused PD, right, the superconduits. We need that, otherwise we won't shoot for long. Utility is a bunch of shield boosters with different sizes. I might actually change that. I have still power for that. As you can see, there is like just tremor resistant and resist augmented. Still they're not grade 5, and furthermore they could be changed maybe to 0E, yeah, because of the power. Here we have the SCBs. I have a 6A here because it just has a little bit of heat compared to 7A. Prismatics, reinforced low draw. Our PD is going to be under attack from the lasers, so I don't want to pull more than I need to. Armor is okay, but it's nothing great. This is a shield build, shield tank. The resistances here, as I said, are not great because still I have room to grow. Just 33% of thermal, so much better. The health pool of the shield is okay, let's say like that. I might change these double braced. I don't know what I did that because maybe I thought it's going to be a PvP. I don't know. Wake scanner, yeah, just in case. Heatsink, we'll see how that goes. This is a regularly engineered one, so heat is gonna be, let's see, it might be an issue, but especially with these burst lasers, I think we're gonna have a lot of heat generated there. So let's see how that goes. This is how much power I actually use when I switch between those SCBs. So I can turn them both at the same time, but I prefer to have them separately because I can then control which one I can use for topping up the shields depending on the situation. So yeah, that's all in all. So let's go to our bro and get this stuff engineered. Our trusty Mandalay is en route, and I see you there. Alright, we're almost there. Bro Tarkin has grade 5 of all lasers, so if you like hot plasma beams, be sure to unlock the engineer. There are older but still relevant guides on how to do that. The one that I've used is Down to Earth Astronomy's Commander Toolbox site, which makes it very easy to follow. Not just for the engineers, for all other grindy stuff in Elite, you'll find very good descriptions, still relevant today. I'll link the site in the description of the video. Make sure to check it out because it has a ton of useful information. Here we go, we are just about to land, and then we can get on to engineering. Now, I'll show one burst laser getting to the grade 5, and the rest will be sped up, just to keep our sanity, as FDev still has the same user experience from the days when you had randomized roll of each grade. Right? I have dev, if you're watching, just give us one click for each grade if we have the max vertical, yeah. Now, these lasers, as you see, have a jitter. That's the downside of having the initial impact. Jitter of 3%, yeah. This is, I would say, not great, not good. It is in the middle if you compare to the Guardian weapons, for example. 1.5 degrees versus 5 degrees of the non-engineered Guardian shard cannons, right? This is not that bad, so I think we should still be able to hit our target quite easily. But if there's some chaff and there's some friendly fire, stuff might happen, so be careful. Once we're done with all of these, we can just go into our ship and take a look at how they look like compared to everything. Our trusty mule Mendeley is up to the task. This is a great way to transport modules from different systems to engineers if you have a long jump ship like this, your bubble taxi. It's very easy to move, but for example, for bigger ships like Corvette, this thing cannot carry 4 hardpoints, huge side ones. So our burst lasers here, yeah, have fragment cannons for friendly fire, just in case. So the burst lasers that we have are all modified now with this overcharge in impact. You can see the damage here. The good thing with the burst laser is that distributed draw is still below 1 megawatt. You might think that's low, but wait until you see them in action. They will deplete the weapon focused PD very easily, and also maybe generate a little bit of heat. So all of them have, because of the initial impact, they have the jitter, 3 degrees. At least they will make a mistake at the same time, all of them, so that's fine. The 1Gs are short-range blasters, so they should generate far more damage than the regular ones. They are good for opening the fire when you start the engagement, if you can get close enough and then just start blasting off. So yeah, now we are done with this part. We need to get to our Corvette, right? I'll transfer it because it's, let's say, half an hour away using the in-ship transferring system of the game. And I'll transfer some other stuff that we need, some other modules. We have 2 huge burst lasers that are waiting for us. They're already engineered. I had them engineered with, I don't know, long range something. I'm just gonna remove that and put stuff that I need for today. And I'm gonna put the pacifier, high grade, high capacity actually. So that's that. We are done for now with Bro, our good friend Bro, and we're gonna go and see you in the station. Alright, here we are. There is a station with large landing pads in Muang, which is perfect for transferring big ships and then outfitting them with whatever you need before you go to the engineer. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna transfer a Corvette. It is in the system near Beta-3 Tucani, right? Once we get that going, it should take us half an hour, I think. Now we can transfer all the relevant modules, engineer it, and then maybe give it a go, see how it goes. There we go, 25 minutes, not bad. Hopefully they will get SEO as well here with these transfer times for stuff that should be in the system. It's still kind of 5 minutes. With SEO you would expect that to be less, but we'll see. So, as I said, I have 2 huge burst lasers already somewhere on the carrier, so I'm gonna move that away here as well. So shuffle all of that. We'll also remove the stuff that's currently on our Mendeley so we can put it back in Corvette, right? So Corvette is ready once we're done with the huge hardpoints engineering. So let's go ahead and do that. Loading time is longer. Okay. So hardpoints, where are burst lasers? Oh, we can't buy what we need, unfortunately, so we have to resort for the transfer. Where are store modules? Bursts. So, there you go. These are, as I said, already engineered, long-range weapon and thermal shock. I was trying to shock somebody, the long-range will work out. So we're gonna just remove those engineering. I know, materials, cost and all of that. It is what it is. I would not use them and they will just sit around, so... Oh, side scramblers. Not today. So, let's get them. It's, again, 24 minutes. It's gonna take some time. As long as the ship is transferring, that's fine. Where is our passive fire cannon? Which one is this? High capacity. Incendiary rounds. I think they're all incendiary rounds. Yes. With that one. So, let's put this one. 24 minutes. Let me know in the comments how you guys transfer stuff when you're doing engineering. Do you have maybe a favorite path? I know there is some optimization some guys are doing to have optimal transfers. Let's see. Oh, here's the Corvette. Now, at this point, I was recording for almost 40 minutes, and for some reason, Radeon card software Adrenaline didn't record a single thing. So I already did a test, and I decided it's not gonna work without something to cool myself down. So I'm gonna remove the pacifiers. I'm gonna put a beam laser. Right? I had fixed beam laser initially because this is all gimbaled, and then there is just one fixed. It kind of has a less time on target with all the smaller ships and all that stuff. So I kind of opted out to have everything gimbaled. Of course, that is gonna be a challenge with somebody pops chaff. There's a way how to go around that, and I'll show you in the demonstration later on how I'm gonna have two Anacondas kind of dealt with it with different approach. One with completely using it as a gimbal, and then the second one is going to be something like switching between fixed and non-fixed and gimbaled, and how you can sort them out quicker. So as you can see, I was showing here the thermal usage of those. The beam is like 8 point something thermal load. With the thermal vent, that means that's how much it's gonna cool you with, and the huge burst lasers each has around 3 point something. But in theory, that's not enough to cool you, no way. So we'll see how that goes. So this first Anaconda is gonna be dealt with as completely gimbaled weapons. I'm not gonna try at all to deselect it and target as if it's a fixed weapon. I'm just gonna suffer with chaff. Let's see how much time it takes to get this sucker down. As you can see, the shields are popping down quite fast. Initially had red as a color of the lasers, and it was frightening, so I turned to purple. So at least I think this is better. You guys let me know which colors are you using. But so far the shields are down and chaff is on. So now the problem is there, because the gimbal doesn't work nicely here. I have somebody else also fighting alongside with this Anaconda. I'm not sure if that's the SLF or somebody else, but we'll see that later. Right now our focus is Anaconda, and it's gonna take some time. It's still, say, it's aggressively popping the chaff. I feel like I'm commenting on a ball game here. 81%, 47 of shield, so the shield is coming up quite quickly for those guys. 79 hull. Power plant is still 82. Yeah, so it's not gonna pop up like that. And we're struggling here because every time he pops the chaff, I cannot hit it. I cannot unload all of the burst laser engineering that I had done previously. Here is my beam laser trying to cool me off. 40% heat, 42. It's not that bad. We'll get to the 100 plus if you just press all the burst lasers simultaneously. So the shields are back, 30%. So let's see, can we hit this? Heat is going down, but like as soon as you press the burst lasers, the heat is just going insane. Again, chaff, maybe even heat sink. Ah, there is another vulture, it seems, there. Okay, so we'll deal with that guy later. So, okay, now 20% hull left. Oh, we managed to deliver more punch right there. Again. There you go. I'm trying to kind of still use it as a fixed weapon here. Even though I said I wouldn't. Maybe I just instinctively try to avoid missing stuff. The main problem is with the thermal vent beams. If you miss the target, it will hit you even more. So that's that. That's why it's in a separate trigger, just to avoid. And there we go. 100% hit. And the guy is kaboom. We have the vulture, Lubov Orlova. Okay, let's see what Orlova has to do. He's wanted. It's great. Let's see how this works against smaller ship. I think vulture still can have chaff, so we'll suffer here a little bit as well. Shields are popping down nicely. But see, even with the weapon-focused engineered grade 5 power distributor, the burst laser just iterates completely. A couple of seconds and you're done. Oh, he's dropping the cargo. Well, won't save you there. Shields are offline, and now the hull. That's the inertial impact right there, working its magic. Chaff is still kind of messing us up. See, I'm missing here and my heat is going up, so there you go. So as soon as you lock in for a couple of seconds, especially the smaller ships, as soon as they're locked and they don't have chaff, they're gone. This build. Now I want to get my shields back before I find another Anaconda. 35% on the very slow to recharge. Prismatics is not that nice, so let's get to more than 50. Ah, shoot. Let's just do the reboot hack and get to 50 much faster. This is usually used a lot if you do AX combat against in a shield build. You just do the reboot while the heart is down and you get your shields back and you can bounce again, but I digress. That's where I saw this usually as a trick. So we have 50% back. Now we can get our big shield cell bank, 7A, which is gonna hit us more than 100, a couple of seconds above the 100%. We have heat sinks, so it shouldn't be a problem to pop them off a couple of times and just get it done. Heat sinks are quite cheap to synth with materials, so it shouldn't be a bother. I'm gonna try, I think, double SCB here. I don't know, I don't remember what's the official lingo there. Basically what you do, you pop one heatsink and then while they're both going down, you pop another SCB. So kind of you're covered with the heatsink over that one. So see, they're going down, SCB is going up. You can hear the sound here. Right now it's done. Pop another one. There we go. Slightly above 100%, but nothing major. So that's the second SCB going up. And you can get to almost 100% easily. Yeah? Okay, let's see this other guy. Now I'm gonna try when he pulls the chaff to target him and then shoot straight like have a fixed weapon and see how much time it takes to deplete his shields and get his health to 0. Let's go. We're lucky here, I think, because the shields are just down. They're gone. I did pop a hit sink here though, just to be on the safe side. Alright, so let's see. There we go. Chaff again. Now I'm not gonna target you regularly, so let's see, as if we have a... There we go. Fixed weapons. 60% hull. This is obviously much harder if you have a small ship that has chaff, because it's harder to... Maybe you need to go FA off properly targeted, but here I'm not bothered with FA off right now. So he's still popping chaff, but I don't care, because I'm just not using targeting. There we go. 1% is down. There we go. So that's that. I think the build works, but it's very hard. So, all in all, I might add a few more things there. Heatsink, maybe I put a series one. Not like a series, but from Star System series, which has 4 instead of 3 that I have right now, which should help out. And of course, my resistances for the shields are not great. So, with a 5000 or something shield and maybe better resistances, it should last longer, especially I guess thermal opponents, thermal build opponents, NPCs. For the PvP, that's a different story. But here, right now, I think it's gonna be good for me to go and get some fun in the Space EZs. See you guys out there. Have fun. 07.